close that up in about 25 minutes. And the winner gets lunch with me, with two of your friends in studio. We'll buy the box lunch. It's a good deal for a good cause, and that's why we're doing it. Now to your calls on First Amendment Friday. Glad to get them, by the way. And let's see who's... Oh, boy, that's a long wait. Elizabeth is on the line at Kelso. Hey, Elizabeth, welcome to First Amendment Friday. What's on your mind?
Hey, Lars, how's it going?
Very well, ma'am.
Well, thank you. Well, I was thinking about ways to deal with the deficit. You know, they talk about all this stuff. I used to be a drug addict, and, you know, and I got food stamps and all of that, and I just didn't take care of that very well.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the ways to cut that, Social Security, not the Social Security that you work and you put in for, but the SSI for disability, also food stamps, TANF, housing, anything like that the government pays for, is blood testing for use of illegal drugs.
Let's do urine instead of blood, and I've been pitching that idea for 15 years, Elizabeth. I can't tell you that you'd ever have a prayer of getting it passed through the Congress, but I love it. I've suggested it for unemployment payments, for all food stamps, all welfare, all WIC, especially WIC, because if you got somebody taking drugs and they have an unborn baby, then that's a real concern. I think that's a crime against the baby. But it wouldn't have to be very expensive, because, Elizabeth, I've had people say, well, that's going to cost money. I said, no, you save money. You walk into the welfare office the first day and say, we're randomly picking 10 of you, and we're going to have a urinalysis. And if you come up dirty, then you're cut off, period. And you can't re-qualify till 6 months from now and a clean test, or a year from now and a clean test, whatever. So you cut them off. And I said, the first time you do that, you're going to send a message to everyone in whatever region you're doing it in or in the country that this isn't going to be tolerated anymore. And pretty soon, you're going to find out that you've knocked all the druggies out, and they've been forced to go buy the drugs on their own dime instead of using the subsidies, our subsidies, to help supplement their income. And you might actually kick people's butt hard enough to get them off the drugs and back to work.
Exactly. And then not only that, I mean, the government pays out millions of dollars every year for all this stuff.
Billions and billions of dollars, Elizabeth. You're absolutely right. Let's go to Astoria, listening on KAST. Chuck's on the line. Chuck, what do you say?
Hey, Lars. Boy, this Benghazi thing sure is a mess, and my thoughts were that when I heard about Woods Authority being called out for not following orders, that fellow they were talking about integrity really made me mad. You know, I did some time to work for the Guard, and the most mates throw folks out with jokes that, you know, if you disobey orders, you're either going to get placed on report or you're going to be a hero. And oftentimes these guys would take the risk because they knew there were lives at stake. And you know, and heroes like that really need to be respected and not kind of thrown under the bus to protect this president of ours, whose behavior is just so shameful.
I couldn't agree with you more, and you're absolutely right. Chuck, thanks for your service to America and the Coast Guard as well. Let's go to Scott in Battleground. Scott, what do you say?
Well, I just want to make a comment to that young lady, and I hope she is still listening to naysayers that tell people to come home with. She's got to be real naive if she thinks that she's the only people that Obama is not lying to. He's lying out of convenience. He's not about to liar. You know, he's lying just to appease whoever comes at him at the moment. So she's kind of crazy thinking that, you know, real love and right around the corner, and you're a wake-up call, and I'm not looking to
stop by Hillsborough Insurance, see Lisa Logan, your independent insurance agent, and you can go to hillsboroughinsurance.com and enter to win an iPad on her website. They're also available at Broadway cigar locations or any Portland and Salem George Moreland stores. And our quick poll today, you might have seen on network television this week, President Obama had to show ID to vote this week in Chicago. Shouldn't all of us have to show ID? I would say yes to that. You tell me if you would say yes. Today's quick poll brought to you, and today's remote broadcast from KUMA in Pendleton is brought to you by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor for your hunting tags and gear. I've got an elk tag for a spike. I've got a cat tag for a cougar, and I'm going to see if I can fill both of them this weekend, although, you know, the cat tag is kind of like buying a lottery ticket. You aren't necessarily going to see one, although if we see him, we're definitely going to try and shoot him. But your calls are welcome at 866-A-LARS. That's 866-439-5277. I put Mark on before. Mark, you're back on a clean line. You were explaining that your son has to re-register to vote. Tell us why.
Well, I don't know. I got my ballot in the mail here this past week. Went ahead and filled it out, dropped it off at the courthouse, and I thought, well, I'm going to stop by and, you know, since my son got his ballot here, I was going to overnight it to him where he's stationed at Deal Air Force Base. So I figured, well, if I get it at my home, I'll just overnight it to him so he can submit his ballot.
Right.
I go over there, and I asked him, I said, my son hasn't gotten his ballot yet. And they looked on the computer and says, oh, he has to re-register. And I had a puzzled look, you know. I realized the lady's just telling me he has to re-register. I didn't want to get angry at her, but I really just, I don't know, I had to get this off my chest somehow. And to me, it just seems like it's almost like a slight way of minimizing the military vote. I served 20 years in the Navy. I never had to re-register. I served half my 20 years overseas and never had a problem about getting a ballot.
Mark, can you tell me, when was the last time your son voted? Has it been a long time? Is that why his name was dropped off the roll?
We've had a few measures here just, during this past year, you know, measures on local levies, that sort of thing. Got his ballot. And all of a sudden now, he's got to re-register.
Did they tell you why?
Nope. He says it was inactive. I'm like, he got his ballot this past levy election.
Mark, I hate to say, I'll bet you're right. I'll bet you're right. This is a way of depressing the military vote.
You know, I'm gonna.
What's that, Mark?
There's a lot of odd things been going on the last 4 years.
Well, I think you're right, Mark, and there may be a concerted effort to knock down that military vote because they know most of it is not going for Barack Obama. 14 minutes before the hour. Back in just a moment. You're listening to the Lars Larson Show on First Amendment Friday. Portland's best traffic is right here from Jeremy Scott on FM News 101.
Still accident-free out and about. Fingers crossed. Still a good drive through North Portland on I-5 northbound. That's now a 15-minute drive. Starting at Solar Rosa Parks, it takes you all the way to Vancouver. Southbound is the exception to that good drive through North Portland. Moves good all the way down past the Markham Bridge and past the 217 and 205 merges. Had a couple of crashes south of town, almost near Estacada on Southeast Curran Road and Eagle Creek. That's been cleared. Over on the west side, I've heard of an accident on Pacific Avenue and Quint Street, also in Hillsborough, Northeast 28th and Brockton, and on TV Highway in Aloha at Southwest 192nd Avenue. Sunset Highway still slow as you come into town. And that starts right around the area to zoo on into the Vista Ridge Tunnel. Manfield Freeway looks nice in or out of town. 6-minute drive east or westbound. Now brought to you by the Associated Press. Get breaking news, photos, sports, and more on your smartphone with AP Mobile from the Associated Press. AP Mobile is now available for free in iTunes. I'm Jeremy Scott to the Traffic Center. Portland's most weather, 24/7. Scattered showers or spotty areas with rain today in the low 50s, then rain for the weekend. I'm KGW News Channel 8 meteorologist Nick Howler. Your next news, traffic, and weather update at the top of the hour on FM News 101.
Have you thought about refinancing your house? There's some great opportunities out there right now. The interest rates are amazingly low. Imagine enjoying an interest rate that low for the rest of the time you're in your house, maybe for the rest of your life. If you've got a first and second mortgage, though, and you worry about being upside down, that both those add up to more than the house is worth, and you think you can't get a refi? No, not true. American Finance will tell you how it works. They'll help you manage your way through the HARP program. Let the salary-based mortgage experts guide you right through. They'll design a program perfect for you and save you thousands. Refinance, purchase, or their specialty, all decisions are made by their in-house underwriters because they are the bank. went green. They've got e-sign. That means you can sign documents via email. Makes the process that much quicker. Take advantage of rates at historic lows. With American Financing, you can be pre-approved in an hour and have one of the fastest closings in the industry. Visit online at AmericanFinancing.net or call 503-452-4444. In Washington, 206-204-3200. NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
Get ready to clip it. Launch the Clip Radio app now. Did you know low back pain affects over 80% of the population at some point? Many of us suffer through the pain without realizing it can be caused by imbalances in our feet. Chronic or recurring pain interferes with our daily activities, movement, and lives. Today, Foot Levelers individually designed orthotics are helping people live active, pain-free lives. Individually designed orthotics give your feet the support they need to help reduce unnecessary stress and strain on your joints. Unlike shoe inserts you get at a big box store, Foot Levelers orthotics are